Beijing International Airport and how others like it across Asia are transforming global travel, we're joined by Captain Mark Weiss from Nashville, Tennessee. He's Director of International Operations at Reagan Aerotech. Good to see you, Mark.
Nice to talk with you today.
So give us an idea just how much of a game changer is Daxing in terms of its design, functionality, and the overall travel experience.
Well, certainly in China, it's a major step forward. Remember, in the area now, it's competing with other major cities to grab the passengers that are only going to continue to grow. I mean, you've got wonderful airports in Korea, in Singapore. This is going to be an extremely important and positive experience for the traveler. It's going to do a lot for commerce in the region, and it's going to bring more people traveling throughout, particularly throughout China. It's going to be a wonderful opportunity, and it's going to take a lot of the burden away from Beijing Capital Airport.
And so, Mark, what does investing in a high-tech airport like this do in terms of attracting more airlines to use this route, as well as boosting the regional economy as a byproduct?
Well, the way it's going to work is it's going to alleviate a lot of the traffic and a lot of the slot restrictions, the takeoff and landing times that you'd have at Beijing Capital Airport. So what this is going to do is this is going to open up an enormous opportunity for other carriers, either new entrants or existing carriers in China, the international and domestic, to increase the number of flights. And considering the distance it is from Beijing Capital, about 50 kilometers or so, and the way Chinese airspace is set up, there's not going to be an overburdened air traffic control system, especially with the way the air traffic and the airspace is regulated in China. And with the design of the new airport, with the multiple runways, there are 4 runways. Eventually, it's going to be going, I think, to 7, perhaps even 8 runways in various directions. It's going to really cut down on time, congestion, which is going to cut down on pollution, increase the opportunities for commerce, cargo. It's a wonderful opportunity. It's long overdue, and it'll be a showcase for China.
And speaking of showcases and looking at this as an example, as you look at other high-tech airports, are Asian airports essentially leading the way in this area?
Without question. I mean, you do see some innovation at airports like in Heathrow and in Gatwick, and you're seeing some in Amsterdam. But when you take a look at what South Korea has at Incheon and what you have in Singapore, Asia is the leader. Without any question, it puts a lot of the world to shame, and certainly want to be emulated by others.
Now, what about the services within the airport themselves? How do some of these private services that really help speed you through the process, like Clear, compared to some of the government offerings like TSA PreCheck?
Well, I use that all the time, and I will tell you that it allows the traveler who has these opportunities available to them to spend less time on congested lines. You don't want to keep waiting for every small move to get up to your security point. You can either have your iris scanned or fingerprints, or with the TSA here in this country with the global entry. It expedites the experience, expedites the time, and that's what you want. You don't want people standing online. Remember, airports are there also to make money. They're a business. That's why they're having, I mean, look what you have in Singapore. You have movie theaters, you have swimming pools. They are, actually, they're destinations in many cases. My son just actually was in Thailand not that long ago, but he went through Korea primarily because he had enough of a layover where one of the offerings was a tour of downtown Seoul. When you can bring this into play for the traveler, it now becomes a destination. It's going to be, again, a wonderful opportunity, increasing productivity. It's going to keep more and more people working. It's going to bring cargo. It's going to be construction, roads, the infrastructure. Think about all the things that go into support an airport. it's a magnificent opportunity.
Well, thank you as always for your insights. Mark Weiss there, Director of International Operations at Reagan Aerotech.
Thank you.
All right, coming up.